Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so starting today, something that I'm going to try to do this summer is on Mondays, I'm going to drop a short solo episode with a marketing tip. And then on Fridays, I'm going to drop a guest episode. So it is my hope that this summer I can make sure I'm getting out 2 episodes to you guys each week. I've realized that I love doing solo stuff on Instagram. Like whenever I do an Ask Me Anything, or if you guys even just DM me some questions, like I love answering that. And if you guys saw my post from this weekend, I posted about how Instagram doesn't show up on Google search. Right. So if somebody, let's say you have a really amazing post on body image and like 5 ways to improve your body image if you're having a bad body image day, if somebody Googles like, how can I improve my body image? Your post is not going to show up. So what you would want to do, because I see a lot of people do this, like we're all writing these really great captions. They're super long. You just copy and paste that straight into a blog post. And then we make sure that that is showing up on the internet. So if somebody were to search this stuff, it'll show up on the internet. But anyway, so where that leads me is that people would ask me questions on Instagram and I would answer them on my stories, and they would be, these really long, thought out, strategic responses. And I really love doing that. But then they expire. It's 24 hours and it's a story and it just totally goes nowhere. So I know that you guys love seeing it on Instagram, but I was like, all right, these need to go a little bit deeper and I need to make sure that my content is working for me in a more sustainable approach, right? So instead of just having a story, how can I repurpose these things into content? So enter in, here comes the podcast episodes. That'll be a compilation of, those long form things that I'm answering for you guys. As well as the guest episodes that we all love. So I'm going to dive right in today. What I will do, so I'm actually going to create a website by the time this is published. You can go there right now. It's just going to be foreverfriday.co/AMA, as in ask me anything, but it'll be foreverfriday.co/AMA. And it's just going to be a question box. So if you have a question or if you have something that you're wanting to talk about or that you want me to kind of cover, maybe something you need clarification on, like your email sequences or your retention rates, like what should they be? How should you price your offers? Anything that you think that I can help you out with, you can just go ahead and submit that question. And then I'll pick the ones that I am really loving. All right, let's get into it. Right now, today's episode, I'm just going to answer a whole bunch of questions that I've gotten on Instagram lately. So I'm going to go into about 5 of them and let's do it. Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Society podcast. If you are new here, I'm Alexa Cawley. I'm the founder of Forever Friday Consulting. I spent 10 years in the corporate wellness space, working for companies like Lululemon and SoulCycle, and 4 years ago decided to start my own business and bring that expert marketing advice to everybody. On this podcast, we talk about everything from pricing, partnerships, everything that's going to grow your business and allow you to have fun doing it. If you enjoy this podcast, I would highly recommend that you hop into the Friday Society membership. You can cancel anytime. It is $50 a month, and we go way deeper into all of the topics here. So I go into live calls, webinars, workbooks, all pertaining to how to implement the learnings into your business. So you can check all that stuff out in the show notes, and let's get right to the episode. All right, you guys, so the happy folder moment of the week. If you are new here, a happy folder is the album that you put on your phone that is a compilation of all of the great emails and everything that you are getting that makes you smile and remember why you do what you do. I recommend every single entrepreneur has one. I know I said that in a kind of annoying way, but it is because I really want to emphasize every single entrepreneur. You need to have this on your phone. It just really, really helps. So my happy folder moment of the week is from Studio 7 Pilates. Jocelyn just joined the Friday Society membership and I'm super excited she's here. So shout out, Jocelyn, you've been really amazing in Slack also of like answering people's questions and providing honest reviews. So thank you. Huge, huge thank you for that. The community engagement just makes me so happy. But anyway, getting back to the happy folder. So Jocelyn sent me an email with the subject line, brain exploding in all caps. And she says, Alexa, you're amazing. One of our pain points right now is retention, especially new clients. We've had a ton and I want to make sure we keep them. So I skipped ahead to this section. This webinar is so helpful and my brain is literally exploding. I have so many things to roll out. I know my team is going to kill me. But I wanted you to know how meaningful this webinar is to me. So thank you for being you and helping small studios like mine. These are the easiest tips, and it's small, meaningful tweaks we'll be making, and I'm so excited. Jocelyn, this email just made me smile ear to ear because sometimes I'm like, am I making these action items too small or too big? So knowing that they resonate with you just makes me so happy. So thank you so much, and thank you for joining the membership. All right, so I'm going to get right into it. Now, the first question that I got was, where can I start with my automations? So this is no surprise. You guys know I'm a big fan of automating a lot of your business. I use Zapier. I actually just posted a blog post on all the different ways that you can use automations in your business. So I will link that blog post for you because I've linked to a lot of the softwares that I'm talking about. But I use Zapier and it literally saves me hours and hours every single week. So that's just, on top of a lot of the other softwares and systems that I have in place for time saving. So I was posting about automations and systems, and then I posted a question box of where can I, ask me anything that you need to about marketing and automations. So this first question came from Kimberly, who is also in the membership. She's a new member and she says, where do I start? So this was one of the first ones. I picked this one first because we're talking about starting, right? And like starting a journey. So here's what I would do. I would break it out into two sections first. Now, the first thing that I would do is I would start to map out what your ideal client journey looks like from start to finish. And a good way, if you're a visual person, I definitely am, a way that we did this at Lululemon was that we would stand like far back, sometimes not even in the store, and we would just watch as somebody moved through the store. Right? So what they were touching, what they were reading, what made them want to try something on, what their interaction was like in the fitting room, what, made them decide to walk up to the checkout counter, what their interaction was like there, and when they left. So that was a client journey inside of a store. But I want you to kind of think about this as like, okay, from the moment somebody hears about your brand, what's going on? So where are they hearing about your brand? Are they finding you on Instagram? And then what happens? Are they going to your link in bio? Are they just going straight to your website? What's actually happening? So the first thing that I would start and how that's going to relate back to automations is that you need to understand what your client is doing right now. And then you also need to understand in an ideal world what they would be doing and how they would be moving through your brand, right? So if you guys are in the membership, we do have a webinar for that one. It's literally called Client Journey. It's a really fantastic one. So I would definitely say if you're new to the membership or if you're thinking about joining, that is one of the webinars that I would absolutely start with. So anyway, from start to finish, you're going to write out your client's pathway, right? So you're going to highlight then what is taking up manual time. So if you're messaging somebody back and forth and coordinating on a time to meet, right? That is something you can automate. If part of your referral program is, email us back a friend and we'll add them into a time slot next to you, that is also something you can automate. So you'll start to understand once you're looking at this client journey where you're involved. So literally just highlight the steps that require you and your manpower. And then I would start to look at what of those can be automated. If you're not sure what can be automated, just ask me. Like at this point, I've seen enough businesses that I can pretty much tell you what can and what can't be automated. And there's actually a lot more that can be than you think. So that is the first step. And then the second step is that I would get really in depth with all of your platforms. So a lot of the time there's, email templates and campaigns, and there's a lot of stuff that our systems can do that we just don't even really know that they can do. So for example, I'll actually just use an example from my own business. So I use Acuity for my scheduling software for sessions and all things like that. You can also purchase one-on-one session packages through Acuity. And something that they just added in is a follow-up email template. So let's say somebody purchased a 3-pack of marketing sessions with me. So it'll send them an email 24 hours after their last session is used. So I can say to them, I kind of use that as an example now to talk about some of my other products. So for example, people in the membership get a discount on one-on-one sessions with me. So I can send this email and be like, hey, don't forget, use your discount codes to purchase your next package if you're a member. And if you're not a member, here's the webpage. And then I also say, don't forget, you can always ask me questions on Slack, which is what I use to communicate with members and clients and everybody. So it's an email that I was already sending. This is the really cool part is I was already using this. I was already doing this, but I had to be physically involved and I had to be duplicating this process. So even if I was doing this once a week and it takes me, 10, 15 minutes, I don't have to do that anymore. And it's on top of that, I don't have to think about it. Now that is the most freeing thing ever. So that would be my second step in this question of where do I get started with automations? And it would be after you do your client journey to really, really spend some time with the platforms that you are using, because there's a lot of cool stuff in there that you might not necessarily know about. All right, question number 2 came from Kim, who owns Heart of Wisdom Yoga in Nashville. She is also in the membership. Definitely check out her studio if you are in Nashville. But she asked, what is the average amount of time you'd say your clients spend on marketing, percentage of time? And I also loved this question so much because I really had to think about it, right? And I started thinking about my own business because that's, kind of just how I contextualize everything first is how much time am I actually spending on marketing? And it's such a funny thing because I was like, well, what is marketing, right? It's such, you can get very philosophical about it. And I know that I am a marketing consultant, but the thing is, nothing that I do feels like marketing. This podcast episode could technically be considered marketing, right? Because I'm talking about products that I have to people that aren't currently purchasers of my products. Technically, that can be considered marketing. I don't think about it that way though, because I just like it so much. And I just want you guys to have great businesses. I truly believe the more that you feel easy and free and fun about your business, the more people that you can serve. And that's a great thing. So I don't think of this podcast episode as marketing. I don't think of sending emails to you guys as marketing. I don't think about posting on stories as marketing. So all that to say, I really had to think about this. And I know that when a lot of clients start with me, marketing can feel really overwhelming. Overwhelm is one of the biggest words that I get of I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. So my goal is just to clear up the overwhelm so that it feels fantastic, right? Because if you're doing something 50% of the time and it feels good, you're spending 50% of your time having fun. And what a cool thing is that, right? Whereas if you're starting with me and maybe we haven't started meeting together yet, or we haven't worked together and you're spending 20% of your time on marketing, but it feels horrible, that's going to feel more than 20%. So I know this is kind of a roundabout thing, but even as somebody who is in marketing, I do not like the word. So my goal again is just to get you guys feeling phenomenal. I feel okay, I know what my communication plan looks like. I feel good about it. I really like using these platforms. And maybe that feels really far away, but the goal is just that you start to to communicate with your clients, right? And then once that happens, I would say you should probably be spending about 50% of your time on marketing. And within that 50%, you're going to be spending about half on new client acquisition and half on client retention. So all in all, about 100% of your day, right? Think about it like a pie. 25% of this pie is client acquisition, and then 25% of this pie is client retention. So that to me is what a very balanced business starts to look like. All right, the third question is from Joanne from Bend Yoga in Dundas, Canada. Joanne, I'm so embarrassed. I still don't know how to say that. Let me know if I said it wrong. But she said, if I'm starting a milestone program, do I give gifts to clients all for the past or just for the one that they last got? And then she sent me a follow-up question and she was saying, hey, like, if I don't know their anniversary or if I switched software or something like that, what should I do? And this question has come up a lot for a lot of different clients and members. So here's the thing. In an ideal world, you have everybody's anniversary date, you have their client visit count. But at this point in business, unless you're brand new, you may have switched software. You might not have all of that information readily available. So if you've never done any kind of client appreciation strategy, I would say to start, just blanket everybody, right? So if you don't have any information available to you in terms of anniversary date or class visit, just do a blanket gift for everybody. And then make a conscious effort to start tracking anniversaries for your new clients going forward. So your client appreciation strategy is going to be, we have a whole 90-minute webinar on this in the membership. So it's very layered and there's so much that you can do. It really encourages client retention. It encourages your clients to know that you're there with them and you see them and you're celebrating them. So it's definitely something I would recommend. If you join the membership, the $50 a month covers alone that client appreciation webinar and everything that you will get after implementing that. But what I would say to answer Joanne's question is just start from the beginning, look at all of your clients and just do something really great for them, for everybody. So this doesn't have to be something that you're spending a lot of money on. It could also just be like a client celebration weekend, right? Like maybe you're just doing hey, you guys have been with us for, 10 years. We're so appreciative. Maybe you just throw a party, a client party, and you're just making these weekend classes really exciting and you're celebrating people and posting about your favorite moments. Maybe you're getting your clients to post about their favorite moments and just making it an all-in party. So when you think about client appreciation, it doesn't have to be you're buying a sweatshirt or, a Yeti tumbler for every single client. There are other ways to go about this that are not, they're not really a very heavy lift in a budgetary sense. But it is still something that makes people feel like they're part of this journey with you and with each other. And it really encourages community. So I would say start with one thing that everybody knows that you are celebrating them, and then make a conscious effort to make sure you are then counting milestones, aka class visits, and anniversary dates for all of your new clients going forward. So just a little tip here. So what I actually do is I have a Zap in Zapier, or Zapier. No one really knows, or personally, I don't know, and I'm okay with not knowing. I have a Zap set up that it ties my Stripe to Excel, and it will drop a line item for every person when they purchase, so that I know, and it'll only do it once, on their first purchase, so that I know what their first date was of working with me. So I have that one set up. And what's cool about that is that even if I change software, I'll just tie that Zap to my new software so that nobody gets missed and there are no gaps. So that's what I mean by a conscious effort. Just figure out a system and how you're going to implement that in the future. All right. And then the last question I'm going to cover is Mandy. And she says that she is opening up booking is scary. I need to make sure I have availability for newer clients. So that's definitely something. It's funny because I feel like a lot of these principles that I kind of talk about they cover a lot of ground, right? Because for this answer, I would say, okay, let's go back to looking at your client journey. Because I think her question, or what she expressed concern about, was need to make sure I have availability for newer clients. So if you do that client journey map, right, of what you really looked at, and again, this is one of the webinars in the membership, but you can also literally just write out step 1, step 2, step 3. Once you're doing this client journey map, you understand how much time is required of you so that you don't feel overstretched by taking on new clients. So this is, something I'm very passionate about. Is we all only have 24 hours in a day. Try as hard as you can not to overextend yourself. So if you are not sure if you have time for new clients, I would go back to this client journey map. map and be like, hey, even if this client needs a lot of my time, or if they're, on like the quote unquote needier end of things, do I have time for that? And can I still feel good? So that's just something that I would look at first. But yeah, opening up booking is super scary. It's also really exciting because think about some of your favorite clients and I love that saying, like, some of your best days haven't happened yet and you haven't yet met all of the people that you're going to love. And this includes our clients. We haven't yet met all of the clients that we're going to love. And I just think that's such an amazing thing. So it is scary and I get that, but continuously talk about the transformations that people get when they work with you. Continuously talk about a wait list, right? Like, even if you don't have time open right now, always be building that wait list so that you have a group of people who are already ready to work with you. And then you can just reach out and be like, hey, guess what? Okay, I'm ready now. So always be building that marketing runway. And that's another topic I can go into at another date. All right, you guys, that was it. This is going to be the first Ask Me Anything episode for a Monday. Again, every single Monday, I'm going to drop these marketing tidbit episodes. Let me know if you're liking them. As always, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. I've been kind of stuck at 60 reviews for a while. So if you have never left one, I would greatly appreciate it if you did. It just helps me in the Apple Podcast world, in discoverability and all things like that. So you guys are the best. You are truly amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. And again, go to foreverfriday.co/AMA if you have a topic that you want me to cover. Bye.